We all have goals, and for most of us, this will be financial independence, so we can spend more time with our family and doing work that we really care about. But that is not easy. If we don't use our time the best that we can, we may never get there. And that would make me kind of sad, honestly. And while there can be many reasons why we may never reach financial independence, such as our career path or the risks that we take, I think one of them is gonna be at the core center of everything. And this is lack of focus, which can be the primary reason why we end up not being very productive daily and delaying our goals. The way lack of focus primarily manifests is, oh, I like how this video starts. Oh, the plant that he has there is kind of cute. Maybe I need a plant on my desk to help me focus. Yeah, that's it. Oh, does Amazon sell plants? Okay, I'm gonna check. But I think I prefer a fake one. I don't want to water it. My mom always says that the plants give life to any home, so maybe that's what I need. Maybe I should call my mom? And that is it. And you are gone. You were not paying attention. So in this video, I'm going to share 7 things that you can do today to avoid getting unfocused at work. Let's get into it. The first thing is no social media during the first 3 hours of the day. What social media basically does is to give you tiny bits of information, and we can think of each bit of information as one task. So for our brain, it's like we are switching tasks all the time, which, if you ask me, is a very bad way to teach our brain how we have to focus for the rest of the day. So either engage with long-form content, so you will just be focused on one thing, or don't use social media at all for at least the first 3 hours of the day. When I first heard this, I tried it for, I think, 3 weeks or so. But then one day I failed, and right after waking up, I started reading Twitter. And what happened that day is that my focus was super dispersed. I was starting one task, then going to the email, then checking Twitter again, like it was a mess. So this told me that this really works. And since then, this has become a golden rule for me. Let's go to number 2. The second one is to use songs to trigger focus. A psychologist friend of mine named Corey told me that we can use psychology to trigger the focus state in our mind. This is called anchoring, which is basically to link an action to a reaction. So for our particular case, we want that this action is linked to getting focused, to getting into work mode. And Corey gave me to choose different actions that I could do, and the one that I chose was a song. So for a couple of weeks, I played this song every time when I was getting ready for work. And by week 3, whenever I listened to the first notes of the song, my brain was already getting ready for work. And here there is only one rule. We cannot use our anchor or our action for anything else. So now if I start playing this song whenever I'm going to the gym, it will defeat its purpose and it will stop working. So we can just use it for the purpose that we want. And if you are not a fan of songs, we can use light some incense, even do some meditation before work, like whatever action, but we have to always use it before getting to work and nothing else. Let's go to the third. So the third one is setting intention. I haven't heard anyone talking about this, so take this with a grain of salt, but it's been working for me. Whenever I'm going to start a new task, I tell my brain that this is what we are doing right now. And the way that I do it is simply by dragging this task in my Kanban board from not started to in progress. And the only rule here is that I can just have one task in progress. So I can just be focusing on one task at the same time. Now let's go to the fourth one. The fourth one is using app blockers. If we have managed to start our day focused, very nice, but that's not all. Even if we start focused, it is very easy to get off track and to start using email or whatever other thing. So something that I found immensely helpful is to use app blockers. Within these apps, we will first set the apps and websites that we want to block, and then we are going to start what is called a focus session, during which you will not be able to access any of the websites or apps that you said that you wanted to block. Normally I do 45-minute sessions, and I was shocked by the number of times that I was catching myself going to the email app and then not being able to log in. So I became much more self-aware of the number of times that I was getting out of focus, and I just went back to work. The app that I personally use for this is called Freedom, and I love it because it synchronizes both my computer and my smartphone. So if I start a session in my computer, I also cannot use my smartphone. So I love it for that. And you can find a link to the app in the description. Let's go to the fifth. The fifth is interstitial journaling. Interstitial journaling is basically writing what you are doing during the day with timestamps, with the objective of becoming more aware of how we are using our time. And this can potentially reduce the number of times that we go out of focus, because we will be trying to be aware of how we are using our time. So how will this work? When we start doing something, we will go to our journal and we will write, I am starting to script the video. And that is it, hit enter. And if while we are scripting the video, we fell off the wagon and log into Twitter, then once we are aware that we are doing it, we will go back to our journal and we'll say, okay, I logged into Twitter. Now I go back to scripting the video. And like this, we will have a log with timestamps of everything that we have been doing during the day. To be honest, for me this is a hard task because most often than not, I will even forget to log what I'm doing in the journal, but for the days that I manage to do it, I can tell that then at the end of the day, seeing everything that I have done with timestamps is amazing because I can see how many time I've been losing. And as I said, this is great for self-awareness. Now, let's go to the sixth. The sixth one is avoid having a messy environment. Being focused is what I call a clean state, where we just have one thing in our mind. There is no entropy, nothing bothering us, just the task at hand. So to preserve this state, I have found that having a clean environment around us where we are working is very helpful to avoid adding entropy into our mind. Because think about this, if we are working on our computer, even if we are focused on the screen, our peripheral view still sees what is around us, and we may get distracted by those things. So try to have a clean desktop. Put your phone where you cannot see it. Have water around to avoid standing up when you are thirsty, and try if it works. Now, let's go to the seventh. The seventh one is meditation. I have left this for the end because probably this is the one that needs the most practice to really make a difference. But meditation is the focus builder activity by excellence. I normally do 15 minutes every day, and all I try is just to focus on my breath. Then my focus will wander, and once I catch it wandering, I will bring it back to my breath. So as you can see, all I'm training here is to be able to focus for longer and longer periods of time, and I'm using my breath as the focus object. But what is cool is that this then is going to translate into our normal life. So when we are working, we will be able to focus for longer periods of time, and we will be more self-aware when we are getting out of focus. But again, if you are looking for a quick fix, this is not one. You may have to train for months until you start seeing any results. So we are back from the home tour, and as you know, setting intentions publicly help us to gain some accountability. So if you are with me in the quest of getting more focus every day, share in the comments below which one of these 7 things that I just shared you are going to start trying. And if you want to track the number of focused sessions that you just had, this to me sounds like a habit tracker. So head over to this video where I share a habit tracker that I built in Notion. That is it for this video, guys, and as always, hasta la próxima.